Welcome back to the Roy Works channel. In today's video, I want to do a quick description on this body lift that I made. I made it originally when I did my CJ2A project. It came in really handy. I was doing a lot of this by myself at the time, and like Tracy would have helped, but I didn't want to have her try to lift that. So I came up with this quick and easy body lift. And I got a lot of interest in it. A lot of people asked me how I built it and if there was any tips on building it. It really is really easy. I didn't cut a lot of the stock. They're all 8-foot pieces of 2x material, 2x3s, 2x4s, and 2x6s. But what I'm gonna do in this video is just give a quick glimpse or a closer glimpse on how I built it. Some of the parts that are pretty important to do in a certain sequence to make it stronger, and also a little bit of a stock list on what I used on this. This came in really handy. I don't think I would lift too much more than like 200 to 300 pounds with it, because it is pretty small 2x material. And you know, like you can see here, I ran a 3/4 steel pipe horizontally through the top of it, which, you know, I could probably do pull-ups on it, and it would hold me, but I don't think I would go too much heavier than that. But, you know, but I hope this video is going to be helpful to anybody that's deciding to build this. And I'm sorry I haven't got to do this video sooner. I know the person that's wanting to do this wanted to start building theirs and they wanted some tips on how I did this. I apologize for that, but I hope this is still useful to you. All right, so let's get to it. So I guess the first thing, I just want to have a little disclaimer. If I knew this was going to be as permanent as it has been, I would have made this better. I would have probably made it out of steel, you know, square tube steel. But I thought it was going to be a temporary setup, and I thought I would just use these 2x4s after for general purpose projects. So I gotta say, if you're gonna build it and it's gonna be more permanent, I would probably take this idea and just do it out of steel or bigger 2x4s. And a lot of this, you know, I'm a better carpenter than just leaving long ends off the end like this. And, you know, the joints aren't really that good. I just wanted it to be strong. But for the most part, it's worked really well. So I guess the best place to start is at the top. At the top, I used just 2x6s going horizontally. And I actually sistered each side of the 2x3. You can see here, this is actually a real strong joint here. Both of those 2x6s are sandwiching that vertical 2x3. But you can see there, this is an important part of it right here. That 2x6 actually ends on that 2x4. And a 2x4 and a 2x3 nailed together this way or screwed together, you can see the 2x3 is centered on that vertical 2x4, and you can see that same important part right there. And that's very vertically strong. That can take a lot of pressure. And by sandwiching that all together, that makes that really strong at that point right there. And then this diagonal brace going across here, that keeps that from wanting to move back and forth this way. So that's really important. So I did that on all 4 corners. You'll notice that they all have that same detail. By having this rest on here, takes all the stress off of those screws. So all those screws are doing are just sandwiching that 2x3. So that's a real important detail to that. So I did that on all 4 corners to make those all really strong, and I put the diagonal bracing on all those also. Now in the middle, as additional support, I ran a horizontal 2x4 going across there. Now I did all of that before I ran this horizontal pipe right here. I drilled those through after, and that pipe actually goes through the chain falls on both sides. And I kept that to the upper part of the 2x, which it actually would be stronger if I could hit the middle like that 2x6. But because of height restrictions, I had to keep it there. So you can see here, I also put a horizontal 2x4 going across there. And that's a full 8-footer right there. And that helps tie the whole thing together. Now what I also did is, you'll see these crappy pieces of wood that go vertical right here. Just so it kept centered. All those are doing is keeping this whole thing centered between the garage doors. So I screwed it in here, and then I just tied it in to one of the holes that are on my rail of the garage door rail there. So that's really not doing much other than just holding it in place. Like it won't move side to side like this. So you can see that's the basic layout. The height of this, I went for a full 8-footer on the 2x3, but I had to cut down the 2x4 a couple inches to support that 2x4 horizontal board, because that's also supported by this vertical 2x4. So you can see, let me see, I can show you better on this side. You can see right there that that horizontal 2x4 is also being supported by that vertical board. I could have easily just screwed it, continued this 2x4 past the same, past the 2x6, the same length as this 2x3. I could have made that the same distance and then just screwed this horizontal board into it. But that would make all the stress that's on this going across here, especially this middle board that's still carrying weight, that would be the case that it would be relying all on those screws. Now those screws are just holding the board on, and all the weight is on that little ledge right there. So you can see I added lights. I want to actually redo this a little bit, paint it, and wire it. I want to be able to have lights and stuff permanently set up on this, because I think I'll have this for a long time. This is such a handy thing to have in the garage, to be able to lift things, to hold lights. I want to do a lot of cool things, especially filming videos. I want to set up some tracks on here to hold my camera and do all different things. You can see I have some boards up there. After I lift this body up, I don't rely on those chain falls or the rope that holds the body. So what I do is, after I get it lifted up into the position I want, I take those boards and I just screw them in to the vertical 2x, and those go underneath the body, basically right underneath, to hold it up. I hope this was useful. And any questions you have about anything else, just let me know, and I will try to do a video on it if you want more detail, or I'll try to explain it in the comments. Well, thanks guys for hanging out with me today. We're gonna start working on Bruce. I want to try to get this ready for summer 2023. But more videos that come on that. They should be along soon. Well, thanks for watching. Have a great day.